Asian news through Asian eyes.
Hello and welcome to AVN, your weekly roundup of the news from around the globe. I am Abdullah Ahil, your host for the evening. Shaanxi has been actively promoting digital tourism by using technology to enable visitors to experience the region's profound cultural heritage.
The 24 solar terms and China's magnificent landscapes are displayed digitally, offering visitors a breathtaking view. Shaanxi is home to numerous ancient cities, and the architectural techniques of the ancients have always been a marvel. Digital screens also allow visitors to explore the internal structures of historical buildings. For a more thrilling experience, visitors can enter the VR Flight Theater, which simulates riding a roller coaster while overlooking Shaanxi's scenic spots. For those short on time to visit all of Shaanxi's attractions, they can opt to take photos in front of a green screen with famous sites as the backdrop. Zhang Yulin, director of the Digital Museum, explained that many tourists find it challenging to explore the entire Shaanxi province comprehensively in one go. The museum hopes that all visitors to Shaanxi can first get an overview of the most famous attractions through digital experiences before deciding on which sites to go to for a deeper exploration. Stepping out of a digital world into the real-world Jin Memorial Temple, which was built during the Northern Wei Dynasty more than 1,500 years ago. It was built to commemorate Tang Shuyu, the founding feudal lord of the Jin state, and is the largest and most well-preserved classical temple-style garden in China. The temple-turned-museum comprises over 100 buildings from the Song, Yuan, Ming, and Qing dynasties. Recently, the museum became a filming location for a domestic mobile game. The museum plans to accelerate the digitization of its cultural relics. At the same time, they will continue to add new digital display contents, such as using AR technology on painted sculptures, which brings them to life, making them interactive and dynamic for visitors. While technology may attract a younger crowd, some traditional features remain as popular as ever with everyone. The Jin Memorial Temple Fair, a tradition dating back to the Ming and Qing dynasties, was listed as a National Intangible Cultural Heritage in 2008. It continues to be held every year during the 7th lunar month. Rachel Ng, TVB News.
About 200,000 Japanese irises at peak bloom in park north of Tokyo. The irises, called Hana Shobu in Japanese, began to bloom in early June at the Ashikaga Flower Park in Tochigi Prefecture.
The park says the irises have been blooming earlier in recent years due to high temperatures, but they have opened at the usual time this year because of the chilly weather in early spring. Visitors to the park on Sunday enjoyed viewing the white and purple flowers and took photos. A woman in her 60s from the neighboring prefecture of Gunma says she was surprised to see far more flowers than she had expected. She says they are elegant and beautiful. Park official Koike Tomoko says Japanese irises are among the flowers that match the rainy season. She says she hopes as many people as possible will enjoy them. The park says the irises will be at their best until around late June.
The ongoing Shenzhou 20 mission at China's Tiangong space station continued to make steady progress over the past week, with the three-membered crew in excellent health and various scientific experiments proceeding as planned.
The agency said astronauts Cheng Dong, Cheng Zhongri, and Wang Ji, who were sent into space on the 25th of April, carried out various medical tests and scientific experiments during the productive week. Using devices such as vision measuring machines and eye trackers and related software, they conducted tests for various projects including trust and coordination mechanism, the representation of visual and gravitational motion, metacognitive monitoring research, and relationship cognition in microgravity, providing data for further studies on the ground. Besides, the crew conducted vascular ultrasound examination to obtain hemodynamic data for related studies of the impact of different on-orbit times on their stay in space. They carried out memory, strength, and heavy object tests for studies on the changing patterns and cognitive mechanisms of fine motor control in microgravity environment. The astronauts also advanced the research exploring the effect mechanism of space microgravity on microorganisms through studies of streptomyces in the biotechnology experiment cabinet. They collected liquid culture samples and froze them for storage and further steps on the ground. For physics experiments, the crew replaced the sample cover for experimental insert in the combustion cabinet and cleaned the containerless material experiment rack. Meanwhile, the crew underwent traditional Chinese medical examinations, 12 lead electrocardiograms or ECG examination, and dynamic ECG and blood pressure monitoring over the past week. The agency said they have actively engaged in physical exercise and properly used instruments to counteract the physiological effects of weightlessness.
International Culture, Art and Cherry Festival begins in Mardin's Yeshili district with proceeds from local product sales dedicated to Gaza.
The 17th Yeshili International Culture, Art and Cherry Festival commenced in Mardin's Yeshili district, known for its distinctive cherries. The event features a blend of cultural activities and humanitarian efforts, with proceeds from local product stalls being donated to Gaza. Local residents participated in a parade carrying Turkish and Palestinian flags, accompanied by traditional Ottoman military band performances. The festival highlights the region's famous cherries, known for their unique taste, size, and aroma. Local authorities emphasize the event's significance for regional promotion and cultural exchange, while also demonstrating solidarity with Gaza through charitable initiatives. The festival is scheduled to host various cultural and artistic events over 3 days.
Archaeological excavations in Kazakhstan reveal significant findings at the ancient settlement of Jankent at the former capital of the Ozhogyabgu state.
Conducted in collaboration between the Turkic Academy in Astana and Korkut Atakizilorda University, the excavations have uncovered silver coins, ceramic and bronze artifacts, and ram-head-shaped objects, offering remarkable insight into the material culture of the Oghuz civilization. Experts from Uzbekistan are also contributing to the project. The artifacts, dated to the 9th and 10th century, reflect the unique cultural identity of the Oghuz Yabgu state. The city's ancient urban planning, infrastructure, and architectural layout provide invaluable clues into the history and heritage of the Turkic world. Archaeologists involved in the excavation were honored with awards, and a monument was unveiled at the site to commemorate the significance of the findings.
First ever fruit harvest from miniature mulberry tree marks historic moment at Turkey's premier bonsai museum at Yalova.
A historic milestone was achieved at Turkey's first and Europe's largest bonsai museum in Yalova with the inaugural harvests of fruits from a miniature mulberry tree. The museum, showcasing over 200 miniature trees across 70 different species, witnessed this groundbreaking moment under the supervision of local officials. Yalova Governor Hulya Kaya conducted the first harvest from the miniature mulberry tree, marking a significant achievement for the museum. The carefully cultivated bonsai tree, despite its diminutive size, successfully produced edible fruits, demonstrating the museum's expertise in bonsai cultivation. The museum, which opened its doors last year, has already attracted approximately 5,500 visitors. Museum manager Osman Kalishkan emphasized its unique status as both Turkey's first and Europe's largest bonsai museum, highlighting its continuous development and growing collection.
Shaanxi, hailed as China's ancient city, boasts well-preserved historic cities that have stood for centuries.
Stepping through the gates, visitors are greeted by sweeping eaves and intricately carved beams, a glimpse of the prosperous era of gin merchants in the olden days. Built during the Ming Dynasty and nicknamed Phoenix City for its shape when viewed from above, Taiyuan Ancient County now offers more than just sightseeing to visitors. Tourists can immerse themselves in history through costume experiences. Mr. Li, a tourist from Shijiazhuang in Hebei province, believes what stands out most is Shaanxi's gin merchant culture. He thinks that wearing period costumes in the city gives a shade of authenticity, unlike anywhere else. Ms. Lin, once a merchant of gin-style liquor, expanded her business into cultural tourism in 2021. Renting a historic mansion in the city, She now runs a photography service shop where tourists can dress up like gem merchants.
像我们家所有的这些东西都
She believes that experiencing the gem merchant culture is a must for visitors to Shanxi. Her customers also find the antique main and chain furniture in the shop capable of creating an immersive museum-like atmosphere. In 2011, the Taiyuan Ancient County was designated as a national-level cultural and historical district. Conservation works began 2 years later, and after 8 years of restoration, it finally opened to the public in 2021. Another gem of Shanxi, Pingyao Ancient City, was established in the Western Zhou dynasty almost 3,000 years ago. Listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1997, it remains one of China's best preserved historic towns, with 50,000 residents still living in buildings dating back to the Ming and Qing dynasties. Tourism sector lawmaker Liu Pak-leung noted that some Hakka walled villages in Hong Kong, like the 300-year-old village in Lai Chi Wo, hold similar potential for cultural tourism. He says Hong Kong's walled villages can take their cue from Shanxi's success in the development of the city's cultural tourism. Rachel Ng, TVB News.
The moon reached its fullness and was at the closest to Earth on June 11th night, depicting a picturesque scene of the lowest full moon, a rare astronomical phenomenon that occurs nearly every 2 decades.
In Beijing, the reddish-hue moon seemingly hovered above the Badaling Great Wall, while at the Beihai Park, it provided a stunning backdrop to the White Pagoda as it slowly ascended. The rare breathtaking views were captured by eagerly waiting photography enthusiasts in southwest China's Yunnan province, just the same as they were in Heilongjiang and Shandong provinces in northeastern and eastern part of the country, when the low-hanging moon illuminated the cityscapes like a bright beacon. This lowest full moon occurs when the moon reaches its full phase while positioned near the lowest declination of the ecliptic. With the moon nearing horizon and moonlight passing through a thicker layer of the Earth's atmosphere, the shorter wavelengths of its light are scattered and longer wavelengths of light, like red, are able to reach people's eyes. As a result, the moon takes on a subtle reddish hue.
For a long time, there's been friction about solar farms taking over agricultural land, but a soon-to-be-released guide shows how the two can coexist. Landline's Pip Courtney caught up with one of farmers who says it not only works, but actually makes the land more productive.
On the outskirts of Dubbo, grazier Tom Warren runs 2 operations. He grows wool and harvests the sun. His merinos share 54 hectares with 64,500 solar panels owned by French solar company Neoen. The panels generate up to 20 megawatts a day.
The stocking rates and the quality and revenue from the wool being greater than it was for the associated land beside the farm did surprise me.
Tom says the 30-year lease contract was too lucrative to knock back.
The revenue coming from the lease is far greater than the revenue that would come from agricultural purposes on its own.
So it's not a peppercorn rent?
It is not a peppercorn rent. The biggest issue there is it's drought-proofed. It's every year, regardless of the weather, the sunshine, wool prices, lamb prices, everything else. There's a baseline for our family that we don't have to worry about.
His best hope was not to lose production. Extraordinarily, he's increased the stocking rate by 25%. He puts it down to the microclimate the panels create.
Runoff from the panels concentrates the water. It actually has a row of green grass growing all the time, even in summer, and it happened also right through the drought.
That was a surprise. Another was how often his sheep wanted to be under the panels.
They head into the shade even in the middle of winter.
Is that a bit of a wake-up call for wool producers or people running sheep for fat lamb production, that maybe they didn't realise how much shade their sheep need.
I think that is a message that should get out there.
And that's it for our coverage of the recent most notable feature stories from our Asia Vision network. Stay tuned for more such news on our AVN and other bulletins. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
External news sources. Asia Vision, Asian news through Asian eyes.